Dear all, good morning. Before we begin, I kindly request all the participants to keep your cameras on. Good morning, everyone. I'm Pratiksha, lab technician from Atal Incubation Center of the Coffee Board. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to today's session of the Venture Spark webinar series on the topic Startup Stories, hosted by the Atal Incubation Center, Central Coffee Research Institute, Center for Entrepreneurship Development, AIC CCRI CED, a technology business incubator established at the Coffee Board's head office in Bengaluru. This initiative, in collaboration with the Central Coffee Research Institute and Atal Innovation Mission, is dedicated to supporting and nurturing startups in the coffee sector. At AIC CCRI CED, we offer a range of facilities and services designed to accelerate the growth of innovative coffee related ventures. Our resources include state of the art laboratories, mentorship programs, funding opportunities, and access to industry experts. Venture Spark Startup Stories webinar series is a dynamic initiative that showcases the journeys, challenges, and successes of the entrepreneurs. Designed to inspire, educate, and connect, the series provides a valuable opportunity for both aspiring and established entrepreneurs to learn from the real life experiences of successful founders, investors, and industry experts. It offers useful insights, practical tips, and valuable networking opportunities, helping to spark and support your entrepreneurial journey. Before we proceed with the guest introduction, I request all participants to join the WhatsApp group by scanning the QR code displayed on the screen. This group has been created to share updates and information about upcoming webinars and initiatives related to AIC CCRI CED and the coffee sector. To deliver today's session, we are honored to have with us Mr. Trapritkat Minsong, CEO, 7000 Steps, and Mr. Lichan Hamsi, founder, Ete Coffee. Mr. Trapritkat Minsong is the CEO of Uniquely Zizira Private Limited, a purpose-driven enterprise focused on building sustainable brands that uplift communities. With a strong commitment to innovation, transparency, and social impact, he leads initiatives that empower farmers and promote authentic products rooted in the rich cultural heritage of the Northeast India. Through his work, he aims to position 7000 Steps as not just a successful venture, but a catalyst for positive change. His approach blends modern business practices with community centric values, demonstrating that businesses can be both profitable and socially responsible. He continues to be driven by a vision of creating meaningful impact by placing people, planet, and purpose at the core of every initiative. Our next speaker, Mr. Lichar Hamsi, is an entrepreneur, coffee educator, and researcher from Kohima, Nagaland, and the founder of Ete Coffee, one of the first specialty coffee roasting companies from the Northeast India. Through Ete Coffee, he has built an integrated ecosystem that spans roasting, cafes, coffee laboratory, research firms, consultancy services, and a dedicated coffee school. He is also the driving force behind Ete Coffee School, a pioneering initiative in the Northeast India that focuses on coffee education and skill development, offering structured training programs aligned with the global standards. His work emphasizes quality, research, and farmer partnerships with a strong commitment to empowering local communities and creating value driven coffee brands. Beyond his enterprise, he actively mentors, educates, and contributes to building a more inclusive and purpose led coffee ecosystem, positioning Northeast India on the global specialty coffee map. We are thrilled to have them with us today to share their inspiring journey and valuable insights. I welcome you both on behalf of the Atal Incubation Center Coffee Board. Over to you, Mr. Minsong.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Before I start, I would like to express my gratitude to the Atal Incubation Center for this opportunity to be as one of the speaker in this webinar, and I'm also honored to be I'm also honored to to be a speaker alongside Mr. Lachen from founder of Ete Coffee, who have done an
Sir,
excellent job.
your
An
voice is
excellent.
not audible now.
Am I not audible? Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes,
Hello.
yes, sir.
I'm audible, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear your voice. If you could be a little louder, would be very helpful, sir.
Okay. What about now?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I'll start again. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the Atal Incubation Center for inviting me as one of the guest speakers in this webinar. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm also very honored to share this panel alongside Mr. Lithan from Ethic Coffee, the founder of Ethic Coffee. I mean, he has started coffee here in the Northeast before us, and he has done some excellent work in this field. It is really a great pleasure to share this panel alongside Mr. Lachen. And before I start, I would also like to introduce myself. My name is Krau Prakash David Mensong, and I'm the CEO of Uniquely Zira Private Limited. So in this company, we have two units. One is 7,000 Steps Coffee that deals with coffee from the Northeast, and the other one is Musart that deals with the aerosilk from Meghalaya. So I myself come from Meghalaya. It's a very small state in Northeast India. So Meghalaya is known for having the cleanest village in Asia, and we're also known for having the cleanest river in Asia. We're also known for our forests, our hills, and our clouds. But ironically, we are not known for coffee. So this is where our story begins, or this is where the 7,000 step story begins. So I think I'll just have to share my screen. Mm, uh, Can you see my screen? Hello, hello. Can,
Yes, we can see.
hello.
Yes,
Am I?
sir.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
The screen
Okay.
is visible to us.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just check what screen is being shared. Okay. Okay. So I'm sorry, there was some network issue, and I hope so you can hear me loud and clear. So when we talk about the coffee, when we talk about coffee in India, as I've shared, like we are known for having the cleanest river in Asia, for having the cleanest village in Asia. We are known for having our forests. We are known for our forests, for our hills and our clouds. But ironically, we are not known for coffee. So this is where the 7,000 step story begins. Because when we talk about coffee in India, with due respect, naturally we think of South India, Karnataka, Coorg, Chikmagalur. I mean, their coffee is amazing. I love South Indian coffee, and they've built an Indian coffee for generations. But what many people in the Indian coffee market don't know or don't realize is that coffee also has been quietly growing in the Northeast. When I say Northeast, so right now, 7,000 Step is sourcing from Meghalaya, Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, Tripura, Arunachal. So from all the seven northeastern states except Sikkim for now. So when I speak to customers across India, the first reaction is always like, like most of the customers, the reaction is always the same, like coffees from the northeast. Like, isn't that a tea region or something like that? And they're not wrong. Northeast India is famous. Northeast India is famous for tea. So when we say we're building a coffee brand from the Northeast, people are surprised, sometimes curious, sometimes skeptical. And if I'm in their shoes, I would also be doing the same thing. Like I would also be skeptical about it. So people ask, like, what's the story behind the brand name 7,000 Steps? Why do you brand yourself as 7,000 Steps Coffee? So actually, here in the Northeast, before we start the 7,000 Step Coffee, to be very honest, me myself as a CEO and my team members never knew that coffee existed in the Northeast, and more importantly in Meghalaya, we never knew that coffee existed, or we never knew there were coffee farmers here in our region, because as the because Meghalaya is known for its tea, right? Or I mean, Northeast is known for its tea. So as a team, we always used to go for these epic trip to these remote region, or to these Kenyan region of our state, to meet the farmers, to identify new crops and ingredients. So it was in one of our epic trips. It was in one of our epic trips that that we met a farmer who was cutting down his coffee plants. He was kind of frustrated. So when we talked with him, he said, like, like, we have coffee plants, and we have coffee plants, but there's no market. There's no market, there's no one buying. So we were surprised that there were coffee plants, so we thought, like, okay, it might just so happen that it grows in this village. But it's still, like, there are nearby villages also that grows coffee. So that made us intrigued, like, to go deep and find more about coffee. So we went to another village. We also found the same thing, that there were coffee plants in the other village as well, and we went to different region of the state and also found the same thing. So we were thinking, if coffee grows in Meghalaya, it would also definitely grow in other parts of the Northeast India. So we went to visit and meet farmers in the other northeastern states, discuss with them, talk with them, and listen to their problems. We found that, like, there's a gap between the Indian coffee market and the farmers, and that was one of the main reason why we started the 7,000 Steps Coffee brand. We want to bridge the gap between the farmers and the farmers and the market. But why the brand name 7,000 Steps? That's what most of the people ask. So as I've shared, like, most of the village here in the northeast are uh, are uh, 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 the region in the our region, like, very isolated. There's like, there's no access of transportation, and in order to reach to their farms, or for the farmers to reach a station, they have to walk and they have to trek. So it was in one of the epic trips that we went to Menria, that's only accessible by foot. So to reach to a vehicle. So it was on one of these episodes we started counting the number of steps, and it was 7,000 steps. But I didn't like, literally it was not like 7,000 steps literally, like, it was just in this Mindriya village that it was 7,000 steps, whereas in the other villages of the state, there are some villages that took us around 16,000 steps. So why we brand ourselves as 7,000 steps? Because we want to acknowledge the farmers' efforts, because they have to climb out of the canyon to reach the station to deliver the coffee to us, and then 7,000 steps heading back home. So for me, or for the customers, it might just be a cup of coffee. But for our farmers, it's much more than that. So we want to acknowledge the farmers' effort. We want also we also want our customers to know where the coffee comes from. So that's the reason why we brand ourselves as the 7,000 Steps Coffee. And we also have our company tagline as the India's most remote coffee. The reason is because of the 7,000 steps. So I'll just go to the next slide. And the problem that we are out solving right now is, like, as I've shared, to bridge the gap between the farmers and the Indian coffee market. And the next thing is a single gateway, no single gateway, because right now there's no single gateway for the for the Indian customers. If they visit our website, we want to solve this problem for our customers, that if they want coffee from any of the northeastern states, they would get it from us. Whether they want the Nagaland coffee, whether they want the Mizoram coffee, whether they want the Tripura, the Arunachal, or the Meghalaya coffee, we want to be that gate. We want to be that gateway for them. And the third problem that we are solving right now is the hidden heritage unknown to the world. So we want the Northeast coffee to also be known in the Indian coffee map. And right now there are many coffee entrepreneurs like Lichen, who has played a very important role in doing this. I feel like we're working together as people from the Northeast to to put the coffee from Northeast in the Indian coffee map, and in the whole world, as well, to be known for coffee as well, not just for tea. But I also want to be very honest here. I also want to be very honest here. Coffee market is a very crowded market in India, and that being said, we are coming from the northeast, literally the corner of the country. I can say like we don't have any established coffee ecosystem, no legacy buyers, no big estates like they do have in South India, because the farmers that we're partnering with, the biggest estate is just around 4 to 5 acres. So that being said, we were skeptical. We had many questions. How will we compete in the Indian coffee market? How will cafes in Mumbai and Bangalore take us seriously? How will we build a coffee brand from a region where people associate with tea? So these were the real questions, and we always had these questions in mind, whether if we do, whether it'll work out, whether what problem will arise. But then I always think, or I always thought that we have something different. I come from a state where we have the cleanest village in Asia. I come from a state that have the cleanest rivers in Asia, and we have pristine forests and high altitude terrain. So coffee in Meghalaya in the northeast grows around this region, in clean soil, in the midst covered hills, in the rich biodiversity. So we feel like this is something different, or this is something unique for the cafes in India. So this is the fourth year running, and we have cafes serving our coffee to their customers. So next slide. So what does 7,000 steps does? So right now we are directly sourcing from the farmers. There's no middleman. Today we work with around 300 plus farming families across Northeast India. We build a relationship with them. We understand their harvest cycles. We ensure fair pricing, and then we pay them 100% payment. Then we bring the beans to a roastery. We have Bafi, a roaster. we she's a self-learned roaster. As I've said, none of us knew about coffee. We don't know what's Arabica. At first, when we first started, we don't know what's Arabica, we don't know what's a Robusta, and we don't even know about roasting. So we have our Bafi, our self-learned roaster, and we also have single origin coffees that we serve, and we also have and then we also serve to cafes. That's one of our main selling channel, and we also have D2C and gifting as well. So this is what we are doing right now. We sell to cafes, we also have B2C, they can buy through our website, and we also do gifting at the same time. And then our B2B model, this is this is also something that uh, we are very proud of what we are doing. Like the cafes get coffee from region, no commercial buyers explode, and then traceability. They know where the coffee comes from. Then we are serving 100 plus cafes and growing, and then end to end support. We're not there just to sell our coffee, but most importantly, like what we do after selling, we are there to support them with whenever they need us. So this is something that we are doing, and this is our B2B model. So if there's any cafe owner here attending this webinar, you can always reach out to us for the Northeast Coffee to serve a unique coffee in your cafe. And then this is the impact and the reach that we are currently doing right now. The impact is like we're working with 300 plus farming families, direct partnership across Northeast India, and then we have 4,000 plus of B2C customers who are mostly home brewers who love the Northeast India coffee, and we are serving 100 plus cafe partners that serve across India, and then we are sourcing our coffee from seven northeastern states currently. So this is what we are doing. This is the impact and the reach and our vision to end with. So on time and our mission with 7,000 Sep Coffee is to shine a light on the rich coffee heritage of Northeast India. I'll just read this out. By connecting with these remote communities and celebrating their harvest, we are not only preserving their traditions, we are not only preserving, I'm sorry, uh, there's some problem with my screen, tradition, but also bringing you a unique taste of this captivating region. So this is our vision, this is our mission, and it has not, like, like only shared the positive things or the good things, but starting a coffee business and running this business is not so easy as what many people think. Like, being an entrepreneur, being a CEO, like, people appreciate or glorified what they see on the on the outside, but they don't know what, they don't know what we are going through. That being said, farmers and customers are the one who are really supporting us and who are really pushing us to do better, to keep on learning, and giving the best for our customers, serving the best coffee to our customers, and then paying fairly to our farmers. So, to end with, I want to say that every great journey starts with a single step. So ours started steps, and those steps remind us building relationship with farmers, and then also serving the best coffee to the Indian coffee market, to the world. And we are still climbing, but now we are not climbing alone, we are climbing with our customers as well. So thank you so much. Thank you to Atal Incubation Center for this, for this opportunity. And before I end my speech, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the Coffee Board of India for playing a very important role in 7,000 steps and in Northeast India, in the Northeast India, specifically. Farmers would also like to thank the Coffee Board for playing a very, very important role. I'm not sure how many officers from the Northeast Coffee Board are here, but they play a very important role. 7,000 steps will not be where we are right now without the Coffee Board guidance. Thank you so much for your guidance. Thank you so much for your support, and we will stay in touch and keep on supporting each other. So thank you so much, and that's it from my end.
Uh, Thank you so much, sir. Participants, if you have any questions, kindly unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. This is Vaishnavi here, the incubation executive from Matal Incubation Center Coffee Board.
Hmm.
So I just had a question, kind of a question to ask you, because we have also been, recently receiving a lot of incubation applications for the team AIC CCRI CD. So other than whatever you told now, so what was the major hardship that you, like personally, what was the major hardship that you faced? And since you come from an NER region, I'm not quite sure what are the incubation support or the government support that you have received or you are getting. If you can just brief us about that, I am personally very curious about it. Hence.
Yeah. So as I've shared, like, Coffee Board plays a very important role, but I mean, we are just looking for guidance from the Coffee Board. So Coffee Board of India is there to guide us, to support us with knowledge and meeting farmers. And I think the hardship that we're facing right now is with, like, we are training farmers, working them with them hand in hand to guide them to provide good quality coffee. So uh, coffee in the northeast is very new. When I say new, I mean compared to not like to South India, we're very, very new. So, and as I've shared, 4 years before, there was no market for the coffee farmers in for farming farmers from Meghalaya and the other states. So, they were not paying much attention to the quality of the coffee. So this is one of our problem that we are facing. But we are, like, I mean, it's work in progress right now. I mean, we'll not be able to solve this overnight. It'll take time, but it's something that we are working on, and it's also a challenge, but it's also getting better day by day, and we see farmers providing good quality coffee over time. So yeah, this is one of the problems that we are facing.
Okay, so understood. Thank you for answering my questions, sir. Pratiksha, there are a few questions in the chat box. If you can read it out for sir.
Yeah, and then just before we go to the question in the chat box, the other thing is, like, also now, I'm talking about the coffee farmers specifically in Meghalaya. Like, there are many farmers who are into broom cultivation. If you resonate with what I mean, like, like, they're into broom cultivation and the market is going down, so they're looking for another alternative, which is coffee plantation. They'll not be growing in the same field, but there are still many unexplored field in our region, so they want to grow or they want to expand coffee plantation in our state. So we want I mean, I'm speaking on the farmers behalf. If there's any guidance or any support from the Atal Incubation Center when it comes to coffee plantation or expanding of coffee plantation in Meghalaya, if that is something that you guys are also offering, it'll be good. If not, like, I mean, I can always reach out to Coffee Board for that.
Sure, sir. Thank you for asking this. I shall get in touch with you shortly, sir. Maybe we can discuss in detail about your requirements and also the services that we offer from AIC. I shall get in touch with you shortly, sir.
Mm-hmm. Sure, ma'am.
Sir, I'll just read out the question in the chat box. Uh, how do you ensure transparency and trust across your supply chain, especially with the farmers?
So, I mean, right now, uh, there's nothing that we are listing in our website, for our customers to know. But that's the plan, where we want to keep in our website how much we are paying farmers here in the northeast, so that it is transparent. But apart from that, if you come to the northeast and talk to the farmers in any region of the northeast, I mean, they'll tell you by themselves how we are paying them fairly, and then the transparency across the supply chain, especially with the farmers. And I also see another question, just curious, because of the 7,000 steps. I am from Chennai. Are we allowed to visit your farm? Yes, you are allowed to visit our farm, and we would be very happy to have you. And we're also setting up something which is work in progress. We're working together with the Meghalaya Tourism, where we invite customers from any parts of the country or from any parts of the world. It'll be like kind of a trekking. It'll be kind like of a trekking and a homestay at the same time, to it's kind of an experience center, where we take you to coffee farms, different coffee farms here in the northeast, and we arrange everything for you, right from accommodation and all those stuffs. So we're arranging something like that, and you can visit our website. You can visit our website for more details when it comes to that experience center.
I guess Mr. Trilok has a question. Sir, kindly you can ask me.
Yeah. Hello, hi, nice meeting you. A quick question. I'm building a discovery platform in this same space, covering all the roasters and different coffee products that are available within India. I wanted to understand from you, like, what is the biggest challenge getting the D2C customers who actually understand coffee, knowing that it's a very niche space in India right now?
But I'm not getting you. I'm sorry. Can you come again, please?
I wanted to understand, like, what is the biggest challenge getting the D2C customers who understand specialty coffee in India, knowing that it's a niche space, and how are you figuring that piece out?
So, I mean, because we have our own website that the customers visit. So, from what we've experienced, the customers who visit our website, are coffee enthusiasts who knows about coffee. Uh, that that's regarding the B2C. Whereas when it comes to the B2B customers, there are cafes who don't know, who don't know, I'm not saying who don't know, who doesn't understand the value of the coffee. So that's where we educate them. We send them samples, we let them try out the coffee, and then we educate them. We have meetings to educate the cafe owners to understand the value of the coffee, to understand the value of the specialty coffee. Whereas when it comes to B2C, uh people who visit our website are mostly coffee enthusiasts, so we don't face much of a problem when it comes to that. I mean, that's what we experience. We haven't encountered something like people who doesn't understand the specialty coffee when it comes to the B2C part.
Got it, got it. Thank you.
Welcome. uh
Sir, one more question in the chat box. What
yeah.
quantity of the North Indian coffee is being produced? Can we promote to international market for export?
Yes, the entire production, like the coffee board officers, if they're here, they can correct me if I'm wrong. or Mr. Lashin also can correct me if I'm wrong, the entire production from the Northeast India is just 200 tons. As I've shared, we have small coffee farms, small family farms, and we are sourcing around 140 to 150 tons. 140 to 150 tons. Last year, we sourced around 137 metric tons, and this financial year, we are increasing it. So that's the quantity being produced from the Northeast. It's very small compared to the production in South India. But as I've shared, like coffee farmers wants to expand, so we are looking forward to produce more in the near future. Yes, I can share the contact with you, Vakas. If you can share with me your number, I can send you a WhatsApp message if that's fine for you. If not, I can share my email ID here. Will that work, Vakas? Okay.
Any other questions? If there are no further questions, we can move to the next session by Mr. Micha. I request Mr. Lichan to take over the next session. Over to you, sir.
Hello, everyone. A very good morning to all of you from Kohima. I am so delighted to listen to my brother Crow. He is doing amazing work. Yes, he said I came earlier than him, but it's not about who came first. It's how we do it with the great vision he have for his company. He is doing amazing work. So big congratulations to my brother Crow and his team for the amazing work. And of course, all of this is possible because of the great support from Coffee Board of India. And even currently, today we are able to meet all because of Adult Incubation Center and the wonderful team who have been tirelessly working towards this great for the advancement of a great coffee in India, and especially particularly in Northeast India. So thank you for this opportunity. In the interest of time, I might not address everyone here. To all the senior officials, elders, the veterans in coffee, my respect to all of you, and greetings to all the cafe owners and entrepreneurs like us who are here this morning to listen to our story. My side of the story is primarily going to be around how I started the company. I will not be getting too much into the technicalities of how we function the business and what we do, but you can feel free to ask the questions later after maybe I'm done sharing the story. So my name is Li Chan. I am the founder and currently the CEO of AIC Coffee. AIC Coffee turns 10 years on the 2nd of July. So we are a 10-year-old coffee roasting company from northeast of India. I'm married, by the way, and I have 3 kids. My background is prior to me starting this company, AIC Coffee, I was working with the government for about 6.5 years. And also I was a professional wedding and portrait photographer. That's a bit of my background. And the year I got married is the year I started this company. So I would jokingly say that I left my day job with the government. I left my most lucrative business. I left everything except God and my wife with me. So that's how I started this company. I am not a humorous guy, but I'm trying to keep as light as I can here. So just want to begin with what was the reason, what pushed me to starting this company. When I first started, every single person that I met, especially in Nagaland, tend to say the same thing, that if you are not with the government, you cannot do anything. And when I say this one, do not misunderstand me. The government, the public sector, the private sector has to go hand in hand. We are in this together. But the problem becomes when people begin to depend on the government for everything. For instance, in Nagaland and across Northeast, but in Nagaland in 1980 and 81, great work has been done on coffee plantation with the help of Coffee Board of India and Nagaland Plantation Crops Development Corporation in Nagaland. They've done an amazing work, but the dependency on the government is as such. For everything, the government has to come in. They have to come and harvest for them. They have to market for them. They have to feed them. So with that kind of not just a subsidy mindset, but also expecting the government to do everything, the entire spectrum from plantation to the market, has proved to be a big failure in our land, especially on the coffee plantation side. So this is one burden that, I believe God has put in my heart. That is, then without the help of the government too, we can do something, hopefully start a business that is not just surviving, but hopefully even thrive. And when I say this one, I'm not just talking about coffee. It could be any kind of private sector ventures where without the help of the government as well, you could start something and thrive. So with that at the background of my head, I started this company. Like I said, I left my day job with the government. I left my photographic business and I started this company with just 6,400 rupees in my small kitchen apartment, roasting on a small spice roaster. And my small palm-sized spice roaster, I call it the NR technology, which basically means N stands for a dry fish in my local dialect, and R stands for a roaster. So basically, when you fry and roast the dry fish, you can make an amazing chutney out of it, a local chutney. So I use the same NR technology to start my business. And I roasted with that for about 3 to 4 months, and eventually moved on to start roasting on an oven, baking oven, which I gifted to my wife after our marriage. But I took back again and I burned it black and blue. That was the time in 2017, beginning of the year, I came down to Coffee Board of India Quality Division, and I did my course on Kabi Shastra. And that was an eye-opener for me, a big deal. And I shared this story to our officials and staff there in Coffee Board of India Quality Division, and they took it very kindly. Instead of mocking me and making fun of me, they made it a good example out of me and started to really encourage me that without even proper infrastructure investment opportunities, I somehow have started my business. So I mean, there are a few people. I remember Dr. Basavaraj and also Dr. Mandaba. I really appreciate for their kind words of wisdom and encouragement that has really pushed me. So after about almost 1.5 years, I went on to procure my first roasting machine. And like my brother Crow have mentioned, even me, I had no idea what and how coffee should be roasted or how it's drunk. And so those were the days I would roast until it turns black and oily. Until it turned black and oily, I would keep roasting. I didn't know that we'll have to check the time. That ignorant I was. So, and nonetheless, because we were the first roasting companies in the whole of Northeast and even in India, except for a few second wave corporate coffee roasters, there were not many roasters, private individuals roasting company coffees. So I sold pan India, and with that being said, I owe a big apologies to the rest of India for selling such a horrible coffee in my first year. I'm being very honest here. So after 1.5 years, I managed to save up some money, and I also skipped one part. I would just want to bring back that part of the story. Reason why I worked on those palm-sized spice roaster, kitchen oven, and and it took me so long to invest my first roasting machine from Hassan, Bangalore, near Bangalore. It's because I decided not to take help from the government. Not that the government is not offering help, but just to prove it to my people here that without the help of the government as well, we should be able to do something. And with that challenge, I did not take help from the government, cash, kind, even word of mouth, nothing from the government. And I also decided not to take help from the banks. Not that I will get the loan easily, but since I've left the government job, we will not get loan. If you're with the government, you will get a business loan very easily those days, which is quite an oxymoron. So I didn't get any help from the government, from bank, no investors, and I didn't have a privilege to also inherit any wealth from my parents, except for their love, kindness, their wisdom, and giving us good education. Just to let you know, I'm a first generation English speaking. I'm a first generation going to college. That is what my parents have done to me. Besides that, no inheritance whatsoever from my parents. And a great amount of the wisdom and value in my life was taught to me by my parents. I remember we would go selling vegetables door to door till my 8th standard with my full school uniforms on. That is a bit of my background, and I don't complain. I have no regret. In fact, I'm really grateful to God and my parents for allowing us to experience that kind of life early on, so that we become more wiser in the future. So with that, now I have no support whatsoever from any family, government, investors, or bank. I started my business with just 6,400 rupees, and by God's grace, on the second year, I got my first local roasting machine, just about 2,10,000 rupees from Panu, TGI, Top Grains International. If you don't know, a big shout out to him for all the startup ventures who are really finding it difficult to source a good profit machine or Kisan or Stronghold, on great roasting machines out there, but really expensive. So if you are on budget and you want to somehow kickstart your business, TGI from Panu, amazing, from Hassan, an amazing option to go for as well. So with that, I started my roasting business, and to cut it short, exactly after 8 years, my company clocked 3.85 crores on the revenue, from 6,400 rupees to 3.85 crores without the help of government, banks, any financial institution, investors, family, without any help, just pure help from my wonderful team and the farmers, the customers across India. And of course, I am always grateful to Department of Land Resources in Nagaland, the Coffee Board of India. Directly, indirectly, they have done a great work on the production side, the green coffee. And so we become indirectly the beneficiary of the good and great work that the Department of Land Resources and Coffee Board of India have done here in Nagaland and in Northeast. So that is my story. Now, what next? And ever since we started our company, our vision has always been very, very clear. Our vision is to seek justice. But how do we seek justice is by way of excelling. And how do we excel? If we look back into our Indian coffee industry, as we know, thanks to Baba Budan from South, who got the first 7 live beans outside the Arab world, and India has been the first one to grow coffee, and you might or might not know, but the first person to trade coffee internationally in 13th century in Mocha City, Yemen, was also a Guju from India. So India has been one of the forerunner in coffee industry globally, internationally. And yet, let me also tell you the hard fact that yes, very recently things are changing, but some years ago, if you go and speak to anyone across the globe outside India, they know Indian coffee, but they don't know that Indians do good coffee. In the sense, Indians are not part of the narrative. Indian coffees are more popular than the Indians themselves. And the reason why this happens is because, as I begin my journey in specialty coffee, um, talking about the Zurich University, they offer advanced studies in coffee science. Imagine they cannot grow coffee. They cannot, not even a single tree. They're the one who is teaching the world how to grow coffee, how to process coffee, and how to roast coffee. And they are the one who is also making billions of dollars by just selling those knowledge. Just a single course in that Zurich University will cost you 8 to 9 lakhs, an online course just for 1 year. That's the kind of money, wealth narrative that we are missing on. It's because the Indians were, at least not now anymore, things are changing, but at least just few years ago, Indians were never part of the wealth building narrative. And have we lost trillions of dollars just because of that? Chances are there. And so in terms of research and innovation, that is our priority. And second thing is, if you had to test a fine cup of coffee, you have to go to Italy or some other places in the past. So why would any Indian individual go to Europe or elsewhere to test a fine cup of coffee that was grown in your backyard? And this also really, in a way baffled me, and it jars me to think that without realizing, imperial system is still reeling under our nose in a very cold, oblivious way. We're still supplying our cheap raw material to the rest of the world, and we buy back from them at an exorbitant rate, it sounds more like the Ghadi movement that has happened in the past, where India had to boycott all the garments coming from London. So I mean, I'm not trying to stir up anything political or any, I don't have any negative connotations. I don't want to imply any negative connotation here, but be aware that we are losing out a lot. One, because we don't have the brain resource, because we're not investing on the research and innovation side of it. Two, we don't have the infrastructure. And three, we haven't been building the market in India. And thanks to a lot of specialty coffee roasters now, India is building an amazing specialty coffee market here in India itself. And this, for me, is so important because a good amount of the chunk of the money, we need to understand where the money moves, simply put. So a good chunk of money goes in building the market in itself. Let the whole world travel to India and test the finest cup of Indian coffee. Why would anyone go to another country elsewhere in the world to test the finest cup of the Indian coffee? So with all this in mind, I personally, as the founder of AIC Coffee, has been vigorously working towards how can we make Kohima, Nagaland as one of the hubs of the world in coffee research and innovation. And so I want to call upon every Indian citizens across India to help Kohima become one of the hubs of the world in coffee research and innovation. Like how Brother Crow from 7,000 Steps was mentioning, we all work as a team. One is out there in the forward linkages, one in the farm, one in the research. So I believe we can always help each other out. And so just to wind it up, the micro vision that I carry, besides the grander vision, the bigger vision, that is to excel and inspire beyond the brand, we follow a small micro vision. It's called making people the brand. So the question is, how do we make people the brand? Like I earlier mentioned, Indians were not part of the Indian coffee branding. Indian coffee was more famous than the Indians. And so it's time for us to invest on research and innovation, excel in the area of coffee, and educate the world how we do Indian coffee. At least Indian coffee, we can own it up and teach the world how it's done, how it's roasted, how it's brewed, what's the best outcome that they can expect from an Indian coffee. And so making people the brand has become my priority. And so, for instance, a simple narrative like, if you and anyone across the globe visit Nagaland or Kohima, I don't want people to ask, where is the best coffee in Kohima? And people you go to a day coffee, or you go to, XYZ cafe. Instead, I wish people reply saying that you go to any coffee run by the Nagas. You go to Meghalaya, go to any coffee run by the people from Meghalaya. You go to India, all over India, any cafe run by the Indians. Because let's be very honest, and I'm going to be very blunt here, but if you serve a great Indian coffee, and if the world know that there's an Indian barista behind it versus an Italian barista or Japanese barista or some Swiss barista, German barista or something, I think people are going to go for non-Indians. And all the while we are serving a great Indian coffee. Of course, like I said, there are many great personalities, great specialty coffee roasters coming up in India. They are now changing the whole narrative. People like my friend Suhas, and many great Benny Barkis, and many great baristas, roasters, educators, researchers are coming. So we really wish that one day, like how when we go to a French restaurant and the chef is French, we're gonna shell out any amount of money given the privilege in your pocket. If you go to a Japanese restaurant, if the chef is Japanese, you're gonna just pay whatever they ask. Can we not also make Indian in the same way? Indians become the brand, the people become the brand, where if the coffee is served by the Indians, you're gonna pay any amount of money. And when we have this understanding of making people the brand, I tell you, this is a generational wealth we are trying to build, because 50, 100 years from now, by virtue of anyone being born from an Indian family, will inherit $1 billion business. Because when you go out and venture out businesses across the globe, they're going to ask you, where are you from? And if you say, I'm Indian from India, I'm a Naga from Nagaland, I'm a Kasi from Meghalaya, they're going to say, wow, you guys do great coffee, and so we are ready to build alliance. We're ready to invest and partner. And so by virtue of anyone being born from an Indian family, one day will inherit these blessings of their forefather. And you and I today, we are that forefather. So I just want to encourage everyone here. We are all called to do different things. Not everyone will be researching. Some will be in the education, processing, roasting, sourcing, exporting, whatever that is. It's not a time for us to say bad thing about each other, vilify each other, complain about each other. It's a time for Indians to uplift each other, make sure Indians do great coffee, let the world know that we Indians create good coffee. So with that, I just want to end my session. Like I said, I haven't mentioned much about what we do. Just want to quickly tell you that we primarily are engaging a lot in research. So we have started coffee lab services since 6.5 years ago. We started the coffee school 6.5 years ago too. And for the last 10 years, we've been at coffee roasters. We have a couple of cafes, we have equipments and missionaries. And along with our research venture, we also want to build a coffee knowledge repository, which will be an open public source for anything coffee from this side of India. So with that, I will end my session. If you have any questions and queries, I would love to take the questions now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you have any questions, you can ask now. I guess Mr. Vakas has a question. Sir, you can.
Yes, what's the question? Sorry. Is it in the chat box or something?
Yes, sir. But we also have few participants who've raised their hand. Girish, sir, you can go ahead, sir, to ask your question. Girish sir, we have sent you a request from our end. Please try to unmute. In the meantime, sir, we have a question by Mr. Divesh Dejwani asking that how about in India if someone wants to do, and can you recommend any institute or any trainers?
Sure, sure. So I think the first thing, if you are, like me on budget, I'm sure you are very rich, but if you're like me on budget, then a good way to start would be Kavi Shastra. Do not underestimate Kavi Shastra, because in 2017, when I went, the specialty coffee market in India was very small, and yet the officials in Coffee Board of India, they were pretty much aware of the specialty coffee. They were already doing the SCA cupping, SCA protocols. So Kapi Shastra is one you should definitely check it out. It's just about, those days it used to be 15,000 rupees. I don't know these days, but it would not cost you, it would not burn your pocket. And second, and one of the finest way to approach specialty coffee industry would be Indian Institute for Specialty Coffee, that is run by Benki, our current Indian barista champion Suhas, and his team runs that one. So you can definitely check that one out. If you are this part of India in Northeast, we in our coffee school, you can join in our school, AIC Coffee School. We are on Instagram. You can check with us. You can definitely travel this part of India and get your training here as well. And there are many other. I would like to also mention my friend and brother Benny Varkis also run an amazing barista academy. You can check that out. Mark also does amazing training, and Aragu also does amazing training, and many great Indian trainers. I would call it school and training institutes, so you can check them out. If you have anything in particular that you want to hear, you can, in the interest of time, you can text me later. You can find me on Instagram as lichan.humtoy, and I can share details to you later.
Okay, so we have a question from Mr. Girish. What is the monthly top line of your AIC Cafe? How many AIC Cafe are there?
We have only 2 cafes. Like I said, we are not primarily focused on cafe. Rather, we work with the cafes. So currently, we are working with around 47 or 50 something cafes across India. So we are more of helping cafe owners build their business. So currently, we have only 2 cafes. Monthly top line. What would you mean by monthly top line, sir? I could not understand.
Monthly top line, sir. He's asking for monthly top line of your AIC Cafe.
Oh, okay. So the sales from our cafe is very small. On an average, here in Kohima, we would be doing about 5 to 7 lakhs only. Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Divesh was asking for the contact details you mentioned for the training and all.
Sure. You can find me on Instagram. Drop me a message. I will share further. Or if there's a way to get my contact number from, I can also share right away. 7005 684 865. That's my contact number. You can reach out to me.
Any other questions? I guess there are no further questions. So we can conclude with the official vote of thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of AIC CCRI CED, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Minsong and Mr. Lichan for sharing your inspiring journey and valuable insights. We truly appreciate your time, contribution, and the knowledge you have shared. We look forward to continued collaboration and future engagements. Special thanks to all the participants for your active engagement and insightful questions. Thank you, one and all. I request everyone to turn on your camera so that I can have a quick screenshot. Oh, thank you all. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.